This Java project simulates the performance of a radar system. This is a simulation of a radar system. Imagine a submarine surfaces off the coast and the signal that you receive is buried in noise. This is a client-server system. The radar system uses a moving average filter to recover data. The base station is simulated by a server and the object is the client process. The system uses a moving average filter to detect the object. A moving average filter is a type of convolution. The system also uses Datagram sockets based on UDP. This slide shows the radar server classes, and the most important code to look at is the run function. There's normalized graphics, a plot graph, a graph object, a control object, and the main frame. There are 40 samples in the moving average filter. This slide shows the conv-send classes. There are two classes, and they send blocks of data of 200 bytes, and 127 blocks are sent, and the delay of 0.16 controls the rate of simulation. Buffering consists of an ID value and a count, and this is used to synchronize the client-server processes. The radar simulation uses datagram sockets and buffer length of 200 for 127 are sent, and with 40 samples, and the pulse exists between 21 and 59. This slide shows the buffer structure. ID and a count, 198 values, and the spike at count values between 21 and 59. The total number of blocks sent is 127. This slide shows how to create a buffer of random numbers, and it also shows how to actually insert a pulse in the dataset. It also shows the packets being sent out. This slide shows the moving average filter, calculating the average, plotting graphs, and sending 2 bytes via the buffer out back to the client process. This slide shows the server on the PC in the top left hand side in green, and the Raspberry Pi in the top right hand side. Here I'm copying the project from the PC to the Raspberry Pi, and then going to a console window and running Netbeans. Here I'm changing the contents of IP ads from loopback mode to the address of the PC and putting it in the Raspberry Pi. This is the server and the PC running. When it's green, it's ready to receive data. This is the Raspberry Pi, and it'll be sending the blocks of data, the noisy data. Here the blocks of data moving across. The red is the noisy data. The blue line is the moving average. There's the pulse that we're trying to detect. So it's working. This information is the information that's being processed by the server. And if we move to the top, you see that it's 127, ID1 127. Well, that's all. There is no more. I hope you found this video interesting.